Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is set to introduce a total of 8 new characters in this story by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about this film that a lot of people are really looking forward to is, of course, the new villain/foe in this movie that is going to force the interactions between both Kylo Ren and Rey in this story. And one great thing about J.J. Abrams is that we do know that he's really pouring his heart and soul into this movie, so much to the point that during the fall of 2018, there were a lot of rewrites for this film, even while they were shooting, in order to adjust to certain decisions that were being made for this movie to conclude the Skywalker saga. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting and intriguing. Now, specifically, shot descriptions consisting of both Rey and Kylo Ren using opposite lightsabers against the new villain. It's described that Rey is holding both saber hilts and tosses Anakin's to Kylo, where Rey keeps Kylo's. It's said that Rey clashes Kylo's lightsaber with the new villains in a brief lightsaber duel, where Kylo is said to intervene by attempting to strike the foe with Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber before the villain is able to use Force Lightning against Kylo. That is described to be a short burst, throwing Kylo Ren backwards. The next describes Rey running toward Kylo to help him up, which is where the villain is able to force pull Rey and hold her up in the air, where it's said that Kylo throws Anakin's lightsaber ignited toward the foe, which causes the villain to drop Rey on the ground. Kylo is said to force push the foe into a wall, where Kylo uses the force to keep him pinned against the wall, where Rey is said to get up and do the same. It's said that Rey and Kylo struggle to keep him against the wall before he breaks loose of their force push, and striking Kylo Ren's leg with a lightsaber. This is what slows Kylo Ren down during the battle, where Rey is said to protect him during the battle. So I want to go over a couple of parts about this and as to why this really sounds like it is going to be something quite epic in a Star Wars movie that we haven't seen before since the prequel trilogy era. Mind you, we do know that the new villain in this movie is going to have a lot of choreography that is based off of what was done in the prequel trilogy era. And I think that that is exactly what a lot of hardcore fans are asking for right now, and that's exactly what J.J. Abrams is delivering. So let me ask you guys something. Do you think it's way too late to introduce a new villain in Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker? You know, being the final film of the sequel trilogy, is this really, too far into a trilogy to introduce a new villain? Now, at the end of the day, I think that this is JJ's way and Disney's way as well of really kind of doing something different in order to make the final film of the Skywalker saga really pay off for a lot of fans that decide to go ahead and buy their tickets to go ahead and see this movie. Again, we do know that this movie is going to have a lot of surprises and revelations, but at the same exact time, at the end of the day, the heart of Star Wars when it comes to the action sequences, it really is about those lightsaber duels, something that was not present in The Last Jedi, that now J.J. Abrams is going to be bringing back into Episode 9, which is great. So this new villain, by the way, guys, this new villain is able to use Force Lightning against Kylo Ren, a short burst, if you will, telling us right then and there that he is either A, Sith Lord, or B, just a regular dark side user, like Supreme Leader Snoke. Now, there's a lot of people wondering as to exactly who this new villain really is. We do know that this villain goes under different identities as we have been going over these past 4 months, give or take. Now, this new villain could very well be Snoke's old apprentice. It could have something to do with an ancient Sith Lord that was trapped in the Beyond and now escaped. Anything can really happen with this movie and who this villain really is. Now, additionally, alright, this new villain is also going to be attached to the Flash fights in Star Wars Episode 9. In case you guys have no idea what that is, it's basically a mixture of a lightsaber duel, a flashback, and a Force Bond character, and exactly who is portraying him, I'm going to go ahead and say that it's Matt Smith. In case you guys did not know, a lot of international Star Wars websites confirmed that Matt Smith is indeed attached to this movie, even though there was a lot of talk that maybe he was cut out of the film or was not even in the movie at all. He is indeed attached to Star Wars Episode 9, and that they are keeping him and his role a big secret for a specific reason. And I think that that reason has all to do with Matt Smith being the actor portraying this new character in Episode 9. Now, one other thing that I do want to go over is how the new villain is actually described to strike Kylo Ren's leg, causing an injury that slows Kylo Ren down. Now, this ties directly into what we went over, I would say, 2 months ago, where Rey was actually next to Kylo Ren where he has a very bad injury on his upper thigh area. Now, that tells us right then and there that they are, once again, they're showing us how ruthless this character is going to be, where he's going to go up against Kylo Ren and is able to top Kylo Ren as a villain in the sequel trilogy, which honestly, guys, I think that at the end of the day, this is what we need, right? I think that a lot of fans have always wanted a proper villain in the sequel trilogy, and if you look at Kylo Ren, as much as I enjoy the character, there still needs to be a lot of, improvements made for that character. And that character always had a conflict within him where he didn't really feel like a full-fledged villain, in my opinion, like Darth Vader, or Emperor Palpatine, or Count Dooku, right? He will feel like that in the beginning of this movie, but the conflict is going to come back once the villain enters the picture. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.